and then we're going to be gone again. But I have, I'm starting to attempt to rope Rusty into some of your videos. We've been watching the comments on what you guys would like to see going through the end of the year here. And so there was a lot of machine comments. So I told Rusty to unrust himself.
Unrust himself.
On his...
Derust?
Derust, yeah. I told him to go waller in some Coca-Cola and shine up his machine skills. So I think, maybe, because you're gone next week.
I'm gone next week.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I think on Wednesday of next week, we'll try to do a Class 26 video. So that's my plan. We'll see how it goes. But today we're going to get sticky.
Yeah.
We're getting sticky with some solvents.
Yeah.
So we're going to get sticky and high.
Tony asked me if I wanted to fan or if I wanted to get high. I just want to catch some space.
I just want to catch space.
So when we were doing the guitar video series, Don Gonzalez had put out a video, and so this was kind of inspired by his, but he only uses specific glues in his shop. And I was like, we have access to more glue in our shop than he does, and he mostly uses veg in his shop.
Yeah.
And we have access to more than just veg. So I was like, hey, we can expound upon it. We can do some things. You and DG became good friends up there. You got a knife that's
He's
kind
got
of
a
like
DG
his.
knife.
He's got a DG
Oh,
knife.
I forgot to bring my
I'll go
DG
get
knife. Yeah.
You showed me this morning, and I was like, Sean got your initials wrong.
You're a DL. So that's kind of why this one came about, because we could expound upon it. So we brought some of the Renia stuff, as well as the Weldwood Masters bars, Top Fit, and Colo de Cologne.
So are these are all of our salt. We do not sell Weldwood. If you want this, go to the hardware store.
We went across the street.
But this is like Chris Andre uses this all the time. Was this one of the ones that Don Gonzalez used?
I think he did use
I think
Weldwood.
he used,
Okay.
Yeah.
Weldwood, yeah.
And this is solvent based.
Yes.
Before use,
Yes,
turn off main gas valve. Maybe we shouldn't be in this room today.
I think everything here will probably burn.
Yeah, let's not light things on fire
We
today.
can try it.
All right.
We're supposed to be showing people what you can do with this stuff.
So I've kind of gone ahead and written down, per the instructions on the back of each of these bottles, they all have dry times and work times, okay? So just like when Reiner, dang it, so close.
Also, in other news,
So close.
Facebook still sucks.
Yeah, Facebook will always suck. When Reiner was here, we talked about the working time and a lot of the specifics with each of the Renia products and how they make them for different applications. There are certain drying times, so you can use them for a certain amount of time, but you really need to so let's see here, basics of contact cement. So these are all contact cements.
Yes, which means you have to cement both surfaces.
You put it on both sides. Hey,
And let it dry.
Correct.
Let it tack up.
yeah. Because what's actually happening is the glue is kind of bonding itself to the fibers that it can get a hold of here. But really, when you put the two pieces together, the glue is what is holding them together.
Yeah, the glue, it glues itself together.
Yeah,
It glues to the glue.
correct.
That's why on Facebook I named the video Gluing Glue.
Gluing glue. And so, when you have contact cement, you need to put it on both sides and let it get dry. I know once you get into your leather craft, if you're doing a funky project where you need to do things in a weird way, experiment with it. See how it works for you. You know, if you have to put something just on one side and then immediately apply it to the other and then somehow clamp it down because whatever your project is, you can't put it on both sides or whatever the case may be.
The project that I'm doing in Salina next week is like that.
Okay.
Because we're gluing some cardboard.
Yeah.
And we're using contact cement, but we aren't letting it tack up. I just glue one surface and stick it down.
Right. And it holds. So like there are plenty of workarounds or what's the right word here? Black market uses. you can use the glue however you need to use it, but like these are going to be your main points for using it correctly by the instructions.
If you're wanting to actually stick stuff together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so contact cements, we are working with solvent based, so that means they have a solvent is their base, which means you should have good ventilation when you're using these. They are a harsh chemical. They can affect your lungs. So a lot of times, people that are working in enclosed areas or spaces where children might be, number one, you might just stay away from solvent-based in general. I would say if you're working with kids, get a water-based contact cement. It's just safer for everybody. You can get it on you. It's pretty harmless. It washes off. You don't have strong chemical smells in the room. You're not, you don't need to worry about the chemical with a water-based contact cement. So I'm just going to use that as a caveat real fast. Let's see here. Well, what else? So you put it on both sides. You probably want to put it on fairly thin. Okay, so let's talk about the consistency.
Thin coats is always the best answer to cement.
And you need to put it on a surface that is not slick and smooth. Finished leathers are really bad for contact cements. They're just going to sit on the top, and then you can just literally peel and roll them off, which we could, here. We'll just show you. I'm gonna take some Top Fit. Frankly, I don't use this, so I don't even know what's about to happen. I know with the Masters and the Barge, so.
Top Fit works about the same way.
Okay.
All of these work basically the same way. Spread it on thin and let it tack up, and then stick them together. I guarantee, and we're going to show you this in a little bit, I guarantee if you don't let them tack up right, they aren't going to stick well at all. Because people think, well, if I let it dry, it's not going to stick together. They are completely wrong.
That's not how contact cement works?
Yes.
What's the open time for Top Fit?
Open time for Top Fit is 10 to 40 minutes. I wrote it down.
That's why I knew you could give me the answer.
That means after you spread it on, you've got 10 to 40 minutes to
put it
do
together.
what you're going to do with it.
Yeah. All right. So I'm just going to let these kind of cure and then show you how it doesn't work. So yeah, so ruffers. When you're gluing, ruffers are really nice. If you need to glue a finished surface to the backside of something, you're probably going to need to rough up the finished surface.
Yeah.
Because your glue is not going to adhere well, if at all.
When you rough it up, it gives the cement something to grab onto.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It actually exposes the grain,
Yeah. Yep. So let's hear. Okay. So, and then consistency. Let's talk about consistency.
Yes.
Your glue needs to be fairly thin. I mean, each glue will have its kind of ideal viscosity that you want to work it at. And so, like specifically for, let's hear, do we have thinners for these, Tony?
There is a thinner for
the cologne?
Renia.
Oh, does it work with all of them?
I don't know. Let me go get it.
Okay. Okay, so because I already know this, Barge makes its own thinner. Masters makes its own thinner. If you have Masters contact cement, you want to use Masters thinner. If you have Barge contact cement, you want to use Barge thinner. And I think the Renia, I think there's just one thinner that works for their adhesives. But Tony's going to go find that out. Weldwood?
For weldwood, I think you could probably just use straight toluene, which is like a paint thinner type stuff.
Just the good old toluene.
Yeah.
Do aniline and semi-aniline leathers work well with contact cement or no? Yeah. All leathers work well with contact cement. It's just you need to rough it up. Or the more oils the leather has in it, the less it will want to adhere to the leather, even if you rough it up. So like we have a very, very oily leather.
Yeah.
This one is very waxy. It has a lot of pull up to it. And so we make what is called a latex contact cement. I do think that the Top Fit actually sticks to this pretty well, but the latex contact cement is ideal for oily leathers because it will, I don't know if it dissolves some of the oils in its way with the latex, or it actually just will adhere to an oily leather. So one of our Bulldog brands, I don't recall specifically which, there's like the blue one is the latex? Mm-hmm. Okay, so the blue Bulldog is a latex made for very oily leathers.
But oily leather is the toughest to cement.
Yeah.
No matter what you use.
Yeah, because it just wants to resist. It just doesn't it doesn't want to bind to those.
Yeah, and then in the
particles.
next video after this solvent-based one, we're going to do water-based, and then we'll throw in that latex Bulldog.
Yeah. So, all right. So we're gonna rough it up. So Weldwood, you said toluene probably.
Yeah,
Does it say?
I'm pretty sure.
Solvents. Well, if you use Weldwood, you can read about it, or you can send an email to Chris Andre and ask him what he uses, or just ask the internet because it's probably there. Fable, Scorpion Leather. No, you want to use the thinner that is for the glue. These glues are
mineral spirits.
mineral spirits. Okay.
Yeah.
Mineral spirits for the Weldwood. For all of these, you want to use a thinner that this brand has formulated to thin its adhesive. And so these are pretty fresh cans that we pulled out here, and you kind of see how that runs. That's pretty perfect.
Yeah. And it can be like twice that thick too and still work pretty well.
Okay. At what
when
point?
when it gets gummy and doesn't want to run off of your your brush or your applicator, that's when you're gonna need to thin it.
Yeah, and so what it is, like usually the thinner bottles will look like this. They look very similar to this guy. You just have one around. You take your container of glue that you have. Yeah, that's a pretty good run. And you're just gonna put a couple splashes in there. Like if you have a really tiny container, you're just gonna put 1 or 2 splashes, and then you're gonna close her up. And then you're gonna shake, and you're gonna shake, and you're gonna shake, and you're gonna keep shaking, and you're gonna be like, okay, and then you're gonna open it back up. And then you're going to do this, and you're going to be like, how does it run? And if you're like, oh, that looks good, that's a good run, then you're done. If it's still too thick, put another couple splashes in, especially, if you're dealing with a quart and you're trying to thin down your quart, you haven't used it in a while, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Put a little bit in, shake it around. See how you like it. If it's still not quite there, put a little bit more in, shake it around. You can over thin.
Yeah, you can over thin.
You can over thin.
Yeah. You don't want to get it watery.
Right.
You want it to run and ooze off of your applicator.
You want just the right ooze.
A good ooze is what you're after.
Yeah.
How's your peeling situation?
I do think we are. It's bubbly.
Oh.
Hold on, y'all. Going for a ride. Yeah, so just that's not sticking.
Yeah, it's not sticking.
That's not sticking. So that's what happens when you put contact cement on top of an oily leather. I guess I could have roughed it up.
Or on top of just a slick leather.
Yeah. So like this is a Venetian. If I would have put it on top of the Venetian, same thing would happen.
Yeah.
But see, you can rough it up. This is a really big rougher, so if you need to do a large surface, we have a really small detail rougher that's really good for just edge. So if you're doing a rolled or a bound edge, you can rough it up with just that little detail one. But now the glue should.
I bet it'll peel off of that edge stand too.
Yeah.
And this is probably the oiliest leather that
I
have seen.
Very oily.
It's SP Foot Voyager, which is the oiliest of the oils.
So this is the veg. I mean, this isn't bad. It wants to. It's not peeling. I think that you could glue that. I think you could glue that. Is it ideal?
It depends. That's better than the oil tan.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
But it's still not ideal if you're wanting to really stick something together.
So I can kind of get an edge up here on it, and I might be able to peel off some of it.
Yeah.
But this is
You
an
could use
unfinished veg, so if I would have put it on here, it would have done the same thing.
Yeah. You could use an eraser, and that'll peel right off.
Ooh, the glue eraser.
Yeah, whereas if it was rough, you couldn't get the cement off of it.
Yeah, so I think one good thing to note is that if you do get a good glue job on your leather and you put it together and you go to pull it apart, you will most likely be tearing the leather fibers behind the glue job if you are able to pull it apart. The glue is not going to separate once it's cured together.
Do you need me to get one?
Well, I think it's nice. Glue erasers are super handy. So if you don't have a glue eraser, you should have
I know
one.
you were looking for one, but do you
Yeah.
need me to get one?
Oh, I just thought I'd try it. All right. So that's, yes, please. So this is Top Fit. Why don't we go ahead and try to glue some Top Fit together, just so we can see where we're at. I don't know. I'm gonna try a Venetian with the super oily stuff, and we'll see what happens. I do have a box in the room, guys, but you'll have to buy it and find out.
A box of what?
The $100 box
Oh,
that released last night at midnight. Because I was a good little steward of my at-home project of doing the inventory adjustment.
another thing, even that oily leather, even on the rough side, if you will take a scratcher or a rubber, what do you call this?
A rougher.
I always call it a scratcher, but a rougher. And if you rough the backside of that oily leather up, it'll even help more so.
Let's do it.
I always used to try and cement Latigo together.
Yeah.
Like if you're making saddlebags and you're using the Latigo gusset, if you don't do something, that Latigo's not going to stick, and you're going to cry every time you try and stitch your gusset up. I cry anyway.
Yeah, gussets are probably the spot where you really need the glue to hold the best. And so I guess the biggest thing to note is that a lot of adhesives are made for industry, and a lot of your look, guys, glue eraser. A lot, specifically shoe manufacturing or really any sort of manufacturing. Most of these products are made. I mean, the barge specifically was made for the shoe industry. I think that Masters is the same, and they are using pressure. So not only are they, utilizing the dry time of the contact cements, but they are also using pressure with inside of their process. And a lot of contact cements, and this is one of the things that Reiner was talking about, it takes pressure to bond those two layers together. But us little leather crafters at home, most of the time, we don't have access to a hydraulic press that's going to press our products together. And so I know that's one thing that Reiner was working on with a new Aquilum, is to develop the product in a way that you could use less pressure and you would still get a good result together. So anytime you guys can use pressure in bonding your items, and I mean a good amount of pressure.
Yeah,
Like
a lot of
some sort of a press.
like a lot of the stuff I do, if it's tooled or something, I wouldn't want to do this.
That's true too.
But a plain piece of leather like this oily leather or this upholstery leather, you can take a hammer and tap it together, and that will help bond it.
Okay, yeah.
With a hammer.
Yeah.
Or a roller,
A roller.
a wallpaper roller, you know, something like that.
Well, we sell those metal rollers. So investing in one of those metal rollers. So especially like if you're doing 2-ply belts,
Yeah.
you know, if you're doing a conceal and carry 2-ply belt, you want to be able to like put a little pressure on that. Or maybe go, you know, honestly, if you are making 2-ply belts and you're doing conceal and carry, it probably would behoove you to go to, you know, Grizzly. And I know I'm privileged to say go to Grizzly because I live 2 blocks away from one, or Harbor Freight, and invest in those little roller machines that they have. And you can put your strip through there and apply pressure after you get it glued to really cement those layers together. So, all right.
What do you have going on?
So I have top fit on non-roughed up Voyager.
Oil tan. Heavy oil.
Heavy oil tan, and then I have roughed up Voyager, heavy oil tan, and then I've got a piece of the top fit. So once again, this was like a 10-minute working time, and I probably didn't start my timer because I didn't, but we'll.
Well, and these perimeters that they give you are also average.
Yeah.
It depends on the humidity of the room that you're in, the temperature, and just a lot of different things.
Right.
You know?
A lot of times, you know, you'll see us in here all the time with a hair dryer. So if Denny's, especially if he's gluing a large area, he'll hit it with a hair dryer after he's got all the glue applied, just to speed up that dry time. So you can do that. On the Masters, it specifically talks about on the directions. So from your tack time, so you put it on the leather from the time that you can touch it and it's no longer stringing off on your finger, so when it gets tacky, up to 8 hours is your working time for the Masters. And if you get to the point where it's cured enough to where your layers aren't sticking together, you hit it with a heat gun.
Yeah.
And you can open those molecules back up to bond with each other.
And that's you'll probably get the very best bond that way.
Probably
better than if you didn't let it dry so long.
I feel like there was one time you were talking to me about putting the shearling on the bottom of a saddle. Did you do 2 layers of adhesive when you did that?
No, I don't. But a lot of parts of the saddle I do, like the saddle horn. When I always do 2 layers there. And the deal with 2 layers, you were talking about when you spread the cement on a piece of leather, the cement bonds to the fibers of the leather, and then it does the same thing to the other side, but then when you stick them together, the cement is bonding to the cement.
Right.
So when you do 2 layers, you have cement that's bonded to the leather, and then you put another layer of cement on, and it bonds to the cement. And you do the same thing on the other side. Then you have cement bonding to cement, bonding to cement.
You got 4 layers of
Yes,
cement.
yes, and it makes a pretty permanent deal.
Do you have much working time once you get to that point?
Sure. You've got a lot of working time when you get to that point.
Yeah.
You know, because you certainly need to let stuff dry in between coats, or tack up good in between coats.
Right.
But when you've got 2 layers of cement on there, you got a lot of gummy stuff there going on, you know, so, yeah.
All right, so let's see here. So I'm going to take...
Why don't you just bond it?
Half?
Bond it to half, yeah.
All right, so we got half of our... This is the non-roughed up. So you can see it's tacky. It's not coming off on my finger. It's dry. This one, dry, tacky. So we'll put these 2 together. All right, and then this is the one that Denny roughed up before I put adhesive on it with this really oily leather.
Yes, the roller does have a squeak to it. I couldn't find the one mine. I'm not sure where it's at.
I have a roller.
Who knows?
I had one of the longer ones. Oh. What was that? There.
Found it.
Isaac peeped it.
Well, I may or may not have picked it up several times and played with it. It squeaks and makes funny noises.
It's a good squeak. When applying contact cement, especially if you're doing something where you're going to finish the edge or the edge is going to be exposed, you want to make sure that you draw the cement all the way to the edge. Because otherwise, once you go to finish the edge, if your glue doesn't come all the way to the edge, it's going to want to part in places as you attempt to do your finishing coats, which is going to make you really mad.
Yeah, yeah. And another thing, when you, like if you're using a brush on this, instead of brushing back and forth like this off the edge, brush off the edge like this. Because that'll keep it off the edge itself, but it'll get right out to the edge.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good, because if you come back this way, you can just start to get a big puddle, and that's no fun. So if you just come off the edge, just work your way around from the middle, you know?
Yeah.
Do that. Yeah, this is a good weapon, Foxy. You just carry this around, just chunk it in your holster. I think they're actually sold by the pound. There's two different weights, but do we list the pound? I think we list the pound.
I think we just have a little one.
Okay. What if your leather gets all wavy from the adhesive?
All wavy from what?
The adhesive, like it curls it up. Are you dealing with super thin leathers? That's the only thing that I could think of that would curl up leather.
Actually, when you cement two pieces together, it should make it firmer.
Well, I think they're just applying it. Yeah, 3 to 4 light temper. I think it's just so like you just took this and put it on one side, and then the leather kind of got wavy.
Like, even sometimes with pig, like the suede pig, it'll get wobbly.
Yeah.
I think some of it's just whenever you're brushing it, the fibers start to catch as you're starting to put it on, so that it just creates a wave.
Well, just straighten it out the best you can before you stick the two pieces together.
Yeah, as you lay it back down, like start to pull it back out as you lay it flat.
Yeah.
All right, Denny, you want to try to pull those apart?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, this is the
Non-roughed.
Non-rough side.
How long? Do you know how long we set?
It's about 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes. That's a pretty good adhesion there. If you notice,
Can you do a little forward?
it's dry here where I'm pulling it apart, but
Oh, you're pulling the glue
it's a
off
pretty
of
good.
The glue is coming off onto the other leather
Yeah.
because it wasn't really secured to this leather because it was too oily, probably.
Super oily.
So let's try to pull it off the other side.
I don't know if this will be any better, but
And what's this other side?
This is
this side
roughed.
has been roughed. It's no better.
Well, it almost looks like it. Huh.
All the glue went over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So once, I mean, it did work. I think it's going to hold, like if you're putting some pieces together and you're going to stitch the edge, this is going to hold everything in place just fine until you get to that point.
People always all the time say, "Can I glue this together and not stitch it?"
Yeah. I mean, it depends.
If you're using an oily leather like this, I would say you can, but it's not going to work very well.
Yeah.
But if you're using a drier type leather like this upholstery or a vegetable tan leather, you might get by with that.
Yeah, depending on what you're doing.
Yeah, but it's still just cement.
So, I mean, I would say using and we'll go over the latex cement whenever we talk about the water-based ones. But the latex is designed to stick to an oily leather. This is just to show you that solvent-based does not love super oily leather. All right. I mean, we can do the same thing. Let's just do the same thing with 2 pieces of edge.
So why don't you do a top fit and then you put weldwood or get 2 going at the same
Okay,
time?
that's a good.
Okay, on veg tan.
Yeah. Yeah, you both are going to do veg tan.
All right.
Liz is going to do top fit. Danny's going to do weldwood. I can come over and do
So
yours.
this is top fit, and then
I'll do barge.
okay.
And we're going to glue the flesh side.
Correct.
No roughing.
No roughing, but we are just using straight veg. And I suppose we could all sit down and just do we could do veg and the Venetian.
Did you start your timer?
No, because it's
I did.
Should I start it after I apply?
You started your timer, Denny?
It's 11:35 by my watch.
Okay.
Start your engines.
Because time has to be our constant in our testing.
Well,
Otherwise, we'll get called out in the chat.
yeah. But also, you know, as far as the time goes, it depends on the thickness of the layer of
Or how
cement
open
that
the-
you put on.
Or how open the grain is.
Or how open the grain is.
How much
yeah.
humidity we got?
But
Oh
luckily,
my goodness.
Luckily, in this room,
All right. 36. These are done at 36. Here, we can write that down. Write down when you fill 36.
when I get done.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 36. Perfect. And then here, take 2 Venetian and do the same thing with your Venetian. With the same glue.
36.
With this?
No, you're going to do weldwood again.
Yeah, do the same glue that you just did, but with the Venetian instead of the veg tan.
Now our
Oh,
constant
oh,
is
I see
changing
what
is our leather, and still the same glue.
We're gonna do 2 experiments with each one.
We're trying to speed up our process and get a better smell going on in this room.
I like it.
Don't make me call my favorite German mad scientist.
Dr. Glue, who does have a doctorate. Multiple doctorates,
Yeah,
I believe.
he's a smart fella.
I think he has 2.
Who's it?
Reiner
Reiner?
with Renia.
Buchholz.
Oh my god. Guys, I said that name as I was trying to do the introduction to the podcast like 15 times.
Did you ever say Buchholz?
I don't no, I did not.
That's good.
I think I would get through the first like syllable and then I would just crash out on the rest of it. I was like,
Then you just start coughing. That's German right there. Just start the word
and then
with
just
the
cough
sound
through
and
the
then
rest of
cough
it.
through the rest of it. Yeah.
All right.
Throw me that pen.
38.
I think we're all going to be 38 on this one.
I was 37.
Dang, bro.
Well, I
Alright.
started before you guys. You guys were talking.
Don't put that on
All right,
me.
so you got the weldwood, so now do masters. But and the same thing in the masters.
Which
Same
Start
thing.
with your veg,
both?
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
and then you're going to do
top.
Cola de Cologne.
Yep.
Okay. And I'm not going to try. You may try it with like.
You want me to thin it out?
You may do it on saddle soap. Try to put a couple on saddle soap and see if that sticks together.
To glue some saddle. You're just gonna like glue the inside or the cans
Well,
together.
that's. I mean, Denny just loves saddle soap, and he says it solves all the problems. So I was going to see if it worked.
It doesn't cement all the problems.
Oh. You'll still be stuck without sticky leather.
Yeah, you'll be stuck with leather that doesn't stick.
We've managed to lose Isaac and Justin from this room.
Yeah, Justin first, he was like, nah, that's not gonna help
We
my
talked
head.
about it. He was like, so I'm not going to be in the room for this video.
He's got sensitive olfactories.
But I just figured, like, we have all this stuff here, and it's more cost effective for us to do it than a customer to buy 5 different types of glue and do their own testing.
Well, and Denny, is there, for you, is there a time when you're like, you really need a solvent-based versus like a water-based?
Well, honestly, or do you want my honest opinion?
Of course I want.
I always use a solvent-based
I know that you
cement.
do.
But as
Well,
far
that's-
as if I have to, I don't know. I don't know, but I've always used a solvent-based cement because it always works for me. But look at me, I'm old and
It's senile
yeah.
from the
and-
solvent-based contact
yeah,
cement.
probably from. So
Do we need to
don't
play our
take my
song?
word for it.
This glue makes you feel like you're in your own right mind.
Yeah, in someone else's right mind.
What was your first time, Denny?
12:35.
Been down for 5 minutes. What was your time on it?
Well, dry
Up to 8 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Weldwood, 15 to 20 minutes. All right, Denny, what's what?
Okay, this is Weldwood.
This is Weldwood, and then this
This
is
is Masters.
okay.
These two.
And then you have the barge, and then I have these two. All right, we
You got
are.
Top Fit and Cola de Cologne. We're sitting and waiting.
Let's see. Egg timers would be a good product addition.
Yeah, we can only be so technical.
But Andy, we're gonna use the Renia when we're doing water based. We are doing solvent based today. This is solvent based only.
Yep.
We have a lot of other contact cements. There's what do we have? I think we have like 6 or 7 water based ones.
Yeah, it's plenty.
Yeah.
I mean, we can do the same thing and do water based, and like when Don did it, he just used what was in his shop. We talked about that earlier. He didn't use barge. He used Top Fit, Weldwood, and maybe Masters. It was one of Masters or barge he didn't have, and so he only used 3 or 4. And I think one of them was Renia, but that's the glues that he has there.
Right. That's what
It was not cost effective for him to buy glue that he's not going to use again. So
Yeah.
I just appreciate him putting it out there and me being able to see it. I was like, hey, how can we expound upon it?
Yeah.
Don's our friend, and maybe if we do a video like him, we can get him to actually come to Springfield.
Yeah.
He's very sweet. He does want to. He's just like, I'm busy.
Hey,
He's been doing a lot of videos lately. He really has. And
speaking of Don Gonzalez,
okay.
I've got to show off my new knife.
That's right.
Oh, we can do that. Wait for glue to dry.
Now, Sean Woodson made this knife, but it's a
It's a
Don
DG knife.
Gonzalez pattern. Don Gonzalez asked him, he said, I've got an old knife here that I've always used. He said, can you make something like it? And this is what Sean came up with. And it's beautiful, and man, is...
So you ordered this back in May?
Well, there's a story behind it.
Is there?
Sean, at the shows, he always has a raffle.
Yeah.
You know, he has a fishbowl or whatever that you put your name in, buy raffle tickets, and he'll give a couple of knives away. And he had one exactly like this. It had this beautiful orange and black handle. And I said, I've got to have that. So I bought a whole bunch of raffle tickets. I didn't win. But I said...
I think it was Carl. Didn't we figure out that Carl or something like that won in our chat?
Yeah, he called, or he wrote in and said he'd won it. But I said, Sean, I didn't win that, but make me one, because I got to have one. So this is it. I just got it Saturday. And he said, be sure and give me a brutal estimate about how it works, you know.
Oh, yeah. You want your feedback?
Yeah, I've cut 2 things with it, and both of them were a piece of 1/8-inch lace. Worked really good, Sean.
Skiving his lace
That's
down.
all I've used it for so
8-inch
far.
kangaroo lace?
Yes.
Works perfect.
It skived it, yeah.
Well, then your first piece is right at 10 minutes.
Okay, let's stick them together.
We'll just do everybody at 10 minutes and see.
And this is Weldwood.
And then you got your roller.
Okay.
Squeak, 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 squeak. Chevy says he's been using his 2 Woodsome knives that he ordered a lot.
I ordered a bunch. We also have Hicks, Texas, that green one. Maybe we need to have him make you a different one.
Yep. I use it too.
You gonna love that.
That is Weldwood.
At 45 minutes, you got it stuck together.
At 10 minutes.
No, I mean at 45 after the hour.
Oh, okay.
You didn't give me a lot to pull apart here, which maybe that's the point. It comes apart, but the glue is sticking to both sides, so that means you can put it back together. See, this is working time. So you have 15 minutes, or in Weldwood, an hour and a half to 2 hours of working time, 15 to 20 minutes of dry time. And once again, this is where it comes back to the whole pressure situation. If I had put this into a press, like one of those shoe sole press machines, or like the little rollers that I was talking about to compress the, what, do you know what those machines are called?
No.
It's going to be a tiny,
Like
it's
a
gonna
wringer, like a washing machine wringer.
Yeah,
How it
it's going to
works.
be a little thing. Chris has a really big one to feed steel through. It's called, what is it? I think just a rolling mill. So he has a rolling mill. So maybe it would be some sort of a, yeah. Hey, Justin,
Hi.
hold your breath.
That's right.
Close your eyes.
I is correct.
So he has a rolling mill that he can put his hot steel in and flatten it out and to create really consistent sheets. So maybe a rolling mill, but it would be a small, I know that they make really small ones with just 2 metal rollers that you can, with probably a little crank, that you can feed this in and out of that would compress these layers together.
You know, our Camoga band knife splitter, when we used to do a lot of work for that holster company, we would
Run the parts through
run
there.
the parts through without the blade,
Yeah.
and it would compress it, but it would just single pieces.
Yeah.
But I bet you could do 2 pieces like
Or,
that.
you know, if you have one of the Ivan hand presses, you could just put in 2 smooth sheets of like acrylic or even leather on either side. You could use some sort of like a high density foam, press it with your press, because
Yeah.
that is, you know, that's a simple machine. You're compounding your energy whenever you do that. So you could get some more PSIs with that situation. And,
I'm gonna stick my barge together.
Or you could tap it with a hammer.
or yeah, you can tap it with a hammer.
So the barge, it says right at the beginning, shoes must be free of oil and grease.
Yep. Let's just let that compact for a minute and see how it goes. So let's see here, 36, I'm at 47. I'm gonna stick together my top fit up here. Let's see here, I had a 10-minute so we're at the 10 minutes for the top fit.
Where's your roller?
Rolling right here.
And by your roller, I mean my roller.
See, and like work time, well, this one doesn't even want to come apart already. So the top fit is ready to go.
There's just some
Pressure.
pressure downer.
Under pressure. Oh, you should write on here that that's weldwood now that we've got it out.
So I think what we're going to do with these as we get done, we're going to take them out to retail. And so they can have them out there too.
Just two circles glued together.
And people can try to pull them apart, see what they feel, if anything changes.
Yeah, see, that does still want to roll off. Oh yeah, now that this is super dry,
Yeah.
he's rolling.
There's Barget.
Barge.
But that ain't.
That's a pretty good stick.
That's so this is top fit. 10 minutes cure time. Good luck. Good luck. He ain't coming apart.
That's nice.
That's over.
She's stuck.
She's stuck.
See you, Foxy.
All right, barge.
I'm gonna stick these together.
That's stuck. Trying to find like a lip in here so I can try to.
Get started.
Yeah, no. So that's barge after 10 minutes. She's stuck.
Yeah, I wonder if I can. Let me see it. See if I can get a place.
Here's weldwood. It didn't stick too well.
So it's kind of. I mean, this one pulled apart
Yeah.
pretty good on me. Oh, but it's. I mean, this is curing. So maybe if we give that a little while to kind of stick together here. You can roll it up, roll it down. Hey, Orange Dan, we're gluing things up today. We are talking about glue.
Okay. I'm gonna do masters here.
All right, and then we've got the cologne, Colo de Cologne.
Okay, I got you a spot to be able to pull.
Okay, that's the barge.
Yep. Barget. if I just
Let me roll that up.
What if I just put a piece of plastic?
All right, here's the barge. Tony.
I did make you a spot.
Yeah, that ain't going.
Yeah, let me move this coffee.
Good. You already spilled it once in this month.
No,
last month.
Today's the first day of the month. You have not spilled it in this month.
I mean, that's the barge, but I'm gonna
You're turning red.
punch Denny in the chest with my elbow, which probably won't feel good.
Yeah, didn't we get you a spot here?
I mean,
That's pretty good stuff.
he's coming apart, but that's just, it's not gonna be with no effort. Frank, after you stick it together, do you have a cure time from the one to set? Yes, I mean, so that's kind of what your working time on a lot of these, what it'll say. So like the top fit, the working time is 10 to 40 minutes. So you could possibly have up to 40 minutes to put it together. And then if you kind of start to put it together and you're not in the right spot, you might be able to pull it back apart. But a lot of these, like the Weldwood looks like it's a little bit friendlier for if you need to take it apart after you've got it together, you have a few extra seconds to do that. And then, but probably after that cure time, you know, maybe after 30 minutes or so, it might start to get difficult to pull. Oh my goodness. Okay, this is top fit.
I made you a little spot, and all it did was pull the glue out. I was able to get the little poker in there, and holy moly.
Yeah.
That's harder than the barge.
Yeah.
Barge. For our French viewers. Hey, look
Weldwood
what,
does that for me as well. It gives you a chance to fix issues. So Rue the Day likes Weldwood because it does. You put it together, you don't like it, you can pull it back apart, but then maybe after it's together for a few minutes.
Yeah, it's better. This is starting to stick now.
Yeah, so I was able, we put that together, we were pretty much able to pull the whole thing back apart again. But once again, so whenever we glue those pieces of oily leather together, they did not stick. Like when I I'm sorry, that's actually not right. They did stick, but when you pull them apart, the glue came off of the oily leather and it was all now on the other side. So it was all on the piece of Venetian.
Yeah.
So it did not, like the glue was not adhering to the leather when you applied it. So in these, the Weldwood came apart completely, but you still had the adhesive on both sides, which means you can put it back together again.
Yeah.
I
Here's
left that part open.
Thanks. He left me some cheeks to pull on.
I just stuck it together, though.
Okay. Oh!
Yeah, so
Gotcha.
don't tell you don't stick that part down that I left apart.
Yeah.
Don't stick that back down.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is the barge that's curing. And then here we have Weldwood. So this is our top fit. So this has been cured for a little while now. Oh, thanks.
Then just don't roll on that part. Can I get some champagne with my barge? Champagne?
Champagne. Give him a second. Okay, and then cologne.
That plastic may actually stick to it. So the Cola de Cologne says that it sticks anything. And I believe it's also like including PVCs.
Yeah.
After grinding and cleaning, coat compact materials only once.
Only.
Porous materials twice. I told you. And then it goes into German.
Here's the masters. It stuck pretty well.
Yep. Do the solvent based cements leave residue on your stitching chisels or needles? If you have too much.
Yeah.
Or if it's not cure.
Yeah, or if it's not dry yet.
That was one thing that Reiner was talking about when he was here. He's like, if it's gumming up, you're stitching too soon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here's the...
Cola de Cologne can be reactivated or dried with an infrared lamp. dilute only with our special solvent, which is their thing that does
I think it deletes most of their products.
Cola de Cologne, Volcolfest, Top Fit, and Ortec USW. Toluene-free thinner for all Renia rapid cements.
I think the thing to remember, just like a finish on the top of the leather, you want it to be as thin as possible. You want to use the product as sparingly as you can. You don't want thick, clumpy. You don't want to put on a layer and just have the brush overflowing and then come away where you have this where you can literally see a layer sitting on top of the leather. You want as thin of a coat as you can do, and especially I would recommend everybody listen to that first episode of the podcast where we talked to Reiner, and he talks about how glue dries. And if you have a really thick layer of glue, that means the top is curing, but the middle is not drying because the solvent can no longer make it through that top layer because it's cured. And while leather is not plastic and there is maybe some breathability from the bottom, it's not great. And it's going to take a long time for that center layer to cure, which is going to make, you're not going to have a very good adhesion when you go to put it together because that middle... That tiny little microscopic layer of adhesive that is not curing is going to cause a lot of those problems, like the residue that you get when you're trying to sew and you have the gumminess coming out. It was put on too thick. It wasn't allowed to cure completely before you put it together. And it's just so just like Denny was saying, sometimes you do use 2 layers of glue on something, but you want to make sure that first layer, you're putting it on thin, it's going on evenly, and then it's curing before you put the second layer on.
And the second layer needs to be thin too.
And it needs to be thin and it needs to cure. So taking your time with the gluing, making sure that it is not too thick, and then putting it together, and then kind of, glue up a whole bunch of things at once. If you are doing production, sometimes if you're doing one-offs, that's hard to do. But, if you have 5 or 10 knife sheaths together, you have all your parts prepped, start gluing. By the time you get done adhering glue to the last piece, your first pieces were probably ready to go together. And so do things in batches when it comes to gluing that way, or you're just going to end up waiting.
Frank, I think his question goes along with what we're talking about. After you put it together, do you have a cure time for the bond to set? That's what we kind of saw a little bit with the weldwood when we first stuck it together. It wasn't quite ready.
Yeah, but in reality, if you let it wait long enough where it tacks up good, you shouldn't have to wait
Too long, yeah.
Yeah,
That's what we know.
Maybe 10 minutes,
ready to go when you stick it and do whatever kind of pressure that you're
Well,
going to put
Most
on
of it's don't miss when you're sticking on some of it, and that's where the parchment paper on some of the gluing works really well.
Yeah, I use parchment paper quite a bit.
And then Ann had this question. I know this. Denny can answer this. Should you do wet forming before you glue?
Not necessarily. When I'm building a holster, I always use 2 plies, and I will have them cemented together. The outside I will have a finish on. The inside will be raw.
And I believe it is with the Top Fit works wet.
Yeah.
I use Renia Aqualum, and I mold afterwards.
Yeah. You want your leather to be dry when you cement it together, but then you can re-wet it and do your molding.
Yeah, I think he did say the Top Fit you can use while wet. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the beauty of the Top Fit.
Yeah.
Is it works well on
It works when it's wet.
not just wringing wet now.
No.
There's a difference between wet and soggy.
Like if you
Damn.
say you fully doped a piece so that you could glass slicker it out, you got it all glass slickered out, then spin it over and do the Top Fit on it.
Yeah.
I stuck these 2 very oily ones back together, and
What'd you use on it?
it's just a top. It's just a Top
Whatever
Fit.
it was.
I just stuck the Top Fit back to the Top Fit, and it still doesn't.
No.
Oily leather does not want to cement.
No.
Not with solvent based. Also, whenever you're sticking stuff together, most of the time when you're making something, you're not pulling it apart. We're testing. We're just doing a test thing for you. So
I guess sometimes you may really want to pull it apart, but
yeah.
Well, you shouldn't.
Yeah.
But you do.
that shouldn't be the goal.
Right.
And another thing with all these contact cements, they do not dry hard and brittle. They're pliable when they're dry
Yeah.
and when they're cured.
Most of it's going to be is like I had to get both the Top Fit and the Masters. I had to dig them apart to be able to get something to pull, and that's what you're stitching it. You want that edge to stay stuck.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, applying glue after you've punched holes causes issues because then the glue is going to try to fill up the holes, which could cause gumminess. So if you're pre-punching holes and then trying to sew through it,
Yeah.
that's gonna cause issues.
What did you? Oh, you're still trying to pull the Top Fit and
Yeah.
apart. How'd that one work out?
Once I got past the little section that I left unglued, which then I pushed together and or like, it's not coming.
How did Barget do?
Large did well.
Yeah.
I mean, you're stretching the crap out of leather.
Yeah.
But it's coming apart,
It is coming apart.
and glue's still on both sides.
Yep.
See what master.
So if you really need to get in there, you can.
Probably not going to reuse those pieces.
That's what it looks like.
Probably not going to reuse those pieces. Oh, there's the wavy part that it has in it now.
Now it's wavy for you, Foxy. Got your wave back.
Yeah.
But I will say that is the other kind of issue with not using pressure. So like even our roller is not like by yourself. You probably really can't apply as much pressure as
Pneumatic.
like chemically, it's chemically required to complete the bond between the two pieces.
Right.
It's masters.
So that's why that roller is good, because that should be able to get, once again, a lot of adhesives are made for manufacturing and industry where they have the right exact tools.
I mean, you're picking and peeling. Your fingers are going to be sore tomorrow.
Man, I buck stitched that whole photo album, and my fingers hurt after that. Pulling that needle through, it's a pretty thick album. What's the price difference with these? Oh, all right, Tony, give us the price. Denny, you went to the hardware store and you bought that.
Yeah, but I wouldn't advise going to where I got. This was like $25 for this.
$25 at Sutherland's?
Yeah.
All right.
Give me the next one.
Next one we've got 571-13,
571-13.
which is our cologne.
Right there. 571?
751.
7, that's why it's not blown up. 755.
751.
45.
$45 for a quart of that.
Yeah.
Next we have Top Fit, which is 751-12. Dyslexia really gets you in the morning. 39
Only 10 in stock. Very wide supply is last.
for Top Fit.
39.
Yeah,
39.
that's for 32.
How much to thin these? We've got the thinner is 751-11.
32.
$32 for your thinner. All right. For the barge, we've got a quart of barge is 21-251003.
39.
39. And then we've got mass.
That was
Okay.
32 ounce, right? Yeah.
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
So $39 for your quart here.
Yeah.
The masters, all I have is like a 4-ounce.
95-2017. And then do you have different sizes?
Yeah, I gotta go to 32 ounce. $30 for the 32 ounce.
All right. So $30 for the 32 ounce.
The 4 ounces is $10.50.
4 ounces, 10. What's 8?
8 is 15.
15.
And a gallon for 69.
And oh right. And then what's the barge gallon? Because we have both of these in gallons.
Barget.
Barge.
A gallon of it is 80.
A gallon is 80 of the barge. so that's, a lot of your quarts are in between the $30 and $40 price range. Masters is really the only one that comes in small containers,
Yeah.
which is handy, like if you're just doing one or two. But on the water base, which we will talk about in a different video, we pour most of those here ourselves. Like a lot of them are in-house brands. And then you have a couple of Phoebeans water-based along with the Renia Aqualum. And those come in kind of a couple different, like the 4 and 8 ounces.
Bruce says 32 ounce Weldwood on Amazon is $20.
Perfect. Did you go get with Lindsay and get yourself a check?
I got the card.
You got the card. Good
from
job.
Chris.
Get
Okay.
it on the front end.
16 ounces of Weldwood at Walmart is $14.84. Yeah, Sutherland's is expensive. They're fancy.
Yeah.
They're
That's
top tier.
16 ounces. This is 32 though.
Oh, so it's about the
double
same.
it, then you're at 29 something
Yeah,
Yeah.
$30.
at Walmart.
All right, guys. Well, any other questions when it comes to the solvent-based adhesives today? Anybody learn anything?
Is there one that you would pick, Denny, over another?
I like the Masters and the Top Fit myself. Those two.
Elizabeth?
I'm probably the same as Denny, but
I know our shop uses the Top Fit quite regularly.
yeah. Yeah.
As far as the R&D department, Andy and Ryan use the Top Fit the most.
Yeah. No, I mean, I use Aqualum at home. Once again, I'm working in my house in a room that doesn't have any. I mean, I have like a big hole in my wall that goes out to the living room. But other than that, I don't have ventilation. So that's what I use.
But
So
the next time we do a glue video, we'll get into the Aqualum
Yep.
and the other water-based Leathercraft, I think, Tanner's Bond or whatever.
Alrighty, folks, thank you for your time.
We gotta open the doors. Yeah.
We need to open the doors. This week is Farm Fest. So tomorrow we will do.
We'll go live. I'll set up my phone over there and we'll be live.
Yep, we'll be live setting up at Farm Fest tomorrow, so no live shopping. And then Friday we'll also be at the fairgrounds doing Farm
$100
Fest.
box,
So-
$100 box.
$100 boxes available on the website. Go get them while they're still there. We got $100 boxes, and you could be the lucky $100 ticket.
$100.
We have 70 $100 boxes currently.
Says an hour ago.
And remember that one of the $100 boxes contains a golden ticket worth $100. So don't miss out. You know, you could be 1 in
Once they're
100.
gone, they're gone.
Yep, to get that. Alrighty, folks. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.